y'all. Good day today. My name is Unique, and I am coming on here for part 2 of this beautiful message of why do you do what you do. So I hope you guys enjoy the first message, right? And it got your brain thinking, like, why is it that I do what I do anytime I choose to do anything, right? So for part 2 of this message, I did jot down some notes, y'all. I am in love with jotting down my notes because when God gives me something, y'all know I had to get it right to you. So part 2 of this message, we will be talking about now. We will be talking about the reflection, okay, of why do you do what you do. So now that you kind of like got your mind wrapped around, your thought process and answered some of the questions, hopefully you answered some of the questions for yourself, because it's important that you really do the inner work moving forward in this chapter on growing closer with God and gaining a better and a more intimate relationship, right? And then also to knock down all those strongholds. So we're going to get right into it. So do you know that strongholds are attached to the things that you possibly could do without you even knowing it? So what I have here is, after your reflection, right, of you doing why do you do what you do, does it reflect you showing God that you honor him, right? Or honor him as Lord, for one. So not just honor God, but honor him as Lord. Because when God is Lord in your life, then at that point, you understand that he has the authority over you. Honoring somebody is one thing, but honoring them as a Lord, that means that they're a priority in your life and that you're literally bowing down to whatever they request, right? That's where obedience kicks in. So the next thing is, okay, so I wrote down some things about peer pressure, right? So if you realize why you do what you do, you will then begin to understand that it can come from peer pressure. It can be from different type of roots of people pleasing. It can also sometimes, hold on, I'm gonna bring this book, my handy dandy notes book. So I have here, right, that it can break peer pressure, strongholds, or doubt or fear. People pleasing root sometimes is underlining root that causes you to do what you do, right? You have to sit with God to recognize your patterns, the patterns that causes the enemy to know how to defeat you if you allow him. No one should be able to hold more authority and weight, not even your own flesh, than God himself, right? If you or them does, is considered an idol or idolatry or ego. And for God, he's a jealous God. So that would make him very jealous. Those are the little notes that I wrote down to make sure that I give you guys everything that the Lord has instructed for this particular part. So when it comes to strongholds, when it comes to doubt, peer pressure, people pleasing, those are all rooted in actions, right? So those are the roots, and then the actions that we take allows us to understand what vein and root that we are doing things from. So sometimes you might think, oh, I'm just a nice person. No, you have a people pleasing root, and you need to identify that so you'll be able to make sure that just because you're a nice person, you're trying to make somebody feel good for their birthday, that you decide to have a drink or two, or that you decide to do something that you know God has not ordained or authorized you to do, so you won't be either judged, or that you have a root of people pleasing, and then from that root, because you decide that you want everybody to be happy and satisfied with you or your actions, you decide to make them feel good, and then that which dishonors God. So why do you do what you do? Do you understand kind of the atmosphere, the gist that I'm getting at with this conversation? in this particular part on why do you do what you do. And this really just breaks it down in a whole different limelight. Like, I want you to go back and think, oh, how many times have you said you were going to stop smoking? How many times have you said you're going to stop drinking? How many times have you said you're going to stop cursing? And not just stop just because, oh, it's just not good for me to do that. It's not good enough. No, literally stopping because the Lord told you that you're not supposed to be doing these. Like, you know, from a good vein, like even those that went and raised up in the church house, you know what the word says. The word does not say drink alcohol, right? It says be sober. So at the end of the day, that's what God asks for you. He doesn't ask for you to be drunk, you know. And then that's a whole different conversation I was going to get into. But you have these things that happen to you, like, and I have a question on here. And it says, answer me, right? This is, answer me this. If you ask God to guide you to be the head of your life, right? And then the decision you choose in your life doesn't show it, how can you really believe it? Or have him included in it when it, or if you decide to, you know, ask him to do anything, like guide you, and you don't include him in the decision, how can you really believe that he's gonna do that thing to guide you on it if you don't follow what he's already told you to follow, right? And then it's like, some people like sin. Cool. This message is not for you. This message is for those who might have used to like sin or currently like sin, that is wanting to get away from sin, right? Or maybe if you like sin and don't even know that it's possible for you to get away from sin, or that you're even sinning. This message is for you, whether it's sin or whether it's not sin. My point is for you to have a better understanding of why do you do what you do, especially if you know you're operating in sin. And then come from among it, right? God says be renewed, have a fresh renewing of a mind. So, and come from among thee, right? Come from among the world. But some people don't even know why they're still in the world. They might think they, just because they go to church on Sunday and read their Bible, that they're not in the world anymore. No, your attitude, control, it's so many different things. But I'm just going to stick with the things right now of why you do what you do. Just the little things, the things that most people can relate to, right? The ones that are just have to get their way out of, right? Let's go back to drinking, smoking, and cursing, or even having an attitude problem, or even having control, right? Why do you want so much control? Let God lead, and then you won't have headaches. You won't go through extra blood pressure issues. You won't go through a lot if you just release the control that you want and then allow God to really, really be in the driver's seat, especially for my entrepreneurs and business owners. I don't know if y'all know, but in the word where it talks about, you know, cursing, why continue to curse when you know that doesn't please God? Is it just because your great grandmother said don't do it? You know, is it because you don't feel like it's spiritually connected? You feel like it's just an expression? I've heard that plenty of times before. It even allowed me to be okay with cursing when I was cursing. Oh, it's just an expression. Come on. It's time to grow up. Get off the milk and let's go a little higher in the kingdom, right? And that's cool. Some people might not understand it. This message is not for everybody, but just know when you say those words, when you do those things, you are literally attaching some things to you that didn't have to be attached to you, right? In the spiritual realm, because we're talking about not just the world. We're talking about the spiritual realm where everything is all connected. So, why do you do what you do? Is it because you're scared to get judged, right? Your friends do it. You feel like you have to participate. I'm going to tell y'all something. All my people know that is very close to me and that surrounds me. Unique not doing it. Unique will go about her way when she starts to feel that it is going to disrespect her Lord and Savior, okay? And it's a fine line. It's very black and white, but it's a fine line of those things that will make me go the other way. Okay, I don't participate in a lot of things that I used to do because I want to honor God in all that I do. So it's not that I can't do it, is I'm choosing to show others who my Lord and Savior is and really, really live up to it. Like one big one, sex. Yes, sex. Fornication. Stopped before marriage. It has to. Why? Because and then you wonder why you have soul ties and people opening up different spirits, or you can't get this type of person, you're surrounded by these type of things. Is because you don't know who's connected to what individual. Do you think other gods are fake? No, they're not. You don't know what they're doing in there. Like, you just don't know, and it's just not worth you being disobedient to the Lord, right? And then you have to literally give the Lord literally has to give jurisdiction over you because of the things that you've done unknowingly. Whether we know it or not, it still has to be accounted for. That's like if you know you're in a stolen car or not, you still have to be accounted for what you're driving. So, I just want to give y'all that insight and let y'all know that because of those things, peer pressure, family ties, spouse ties, all those things can allow you to, but it's up to you to choose. Even your own self can allow you to determine why do you do what you do, that and it does not please God and it does not look like God. And in those moments, you have to make the decision. Who is the Lord of my life? Who is the head of my life? And why am I doing what I'm doing? Is this pleasing God? So y'all have a blessed day. And y'all know the motto. If God give it to me, I got to give it to you. So have a blessed one.